Benue State in north-central Nigeria has become like a hotbed of incessant invasion and mindless killing of thousands of innocent people by suspected herdsmen of the Fulani ethnic stock. The carnage on human lives and property resulting from such attacks has become so frequent and even reverberates even beyond the shores of Nigeria. About 2 months ago, Governor Hyacinth Alia was here on Arise News to speak about the situation and what the Benue State government is doing to contain the attacks, as well as measures to bring succor to the victims. Well, Tersoo Kula is a spokesman for the Benue State government. He joins us now for an update on the situation. Great to have you on Newsday. Thank you so much for joining us.
The pleasure is mine. I thank you so much and you're welcome.
So can you tell us, what the state government, is doing at this moment to tackle all these killings and how well those measures have worked for the state?
Yeah, first of all, let me, appreciate you for taking into what is happening in Benue State. And the efforts the governor is making in trying to bring peace and succor to the people that are badly affected by acts of terrorism here. Having said that, I also want to take this moment to sympathize with His Excellency Governor Hyacinth and the relations and what has befallen them. Yes, it has been happening in recent time, and it has happened recently. We have a twin attack by this marauding herdsmen who attacked a local Naka, the headquarters of Goa West local government. Scores were left injured, many died, were buried. The governor of Benue State, since the resurgence of this barbaric act, has never rested. He has been making efforts to get collaboration and the needed support from the federal government, and especially the conventional security operatives of the Federation. He has in many occasions visited Chief of Defense Staff, Chief of Army Staff. The National Security Advisor himself was here. Chief of Army Staff just left here, and many others. And so he has been collaborating with them at that level. And at a point, additional troops were sent to the state, and not just the military, but also mobile policemen were sent here to beef up the security. The governor didn't stop at that. In order to have what is called community policing and vigilante mobilization of the people, he established what is called a vigilante outfit here, codenamed Anyamyo. That vigilante outfit is not to operate independently, especially that they are not licensed to carry heavy arms, but they are there to complement the efforts of the conventional security operatives of the country, the military and the police. And because this local vigilante group are the ones that know the villages, it becomes easier for men of the Nigerian military to dash to areas, because they will be directed by these young people working with them here. And so he has now stopped there. He has been mobilizing and giving incentives as well as the needed facilities and support to the troops sent to Benue to to try and bring peace and try and ward off attacks from the invaders. You recently saw that he launched the distribution of over 100 vehicles to security agencies in the state. He also distributed over 600 motorbikes. Are inaccessible with our cars that you have here. And so you need motorbikes to be able to really police these areas and be able to reach in case of any alert of an attack. The governor also, in discussing this thing, we have River Benue here that demarcate the neighboring states, and some of these marauders cross the river, maybe in the night, or they cross where nobody will see them. And so in discussing that, he reached out to the Navy Department of the Nigerian military and the Navy arm of the Nigerian military, and they agreed to come and police the riverine. And so on arriving here, a very big parcel of land was given to them to establish a naval base in the state. Compensation has been paid and they have taken over and they are operating there. And so in line with what is expected of him, legitimately, His Excellency has been doing so much and trying to motivate the security agents that are policing the areas to be able to bring peace and stop the invaders from coming in. It is rather unfortunate that after all this, we still notice how these people come in, perpetrate these heinous acts, and then disappear at once. It's still worrisome, but that's where we are for now.
Yes, very unfortunate situation, but what level of support and collaboration are the Benue state government receiving from the federal government, if any, and the federal security agencies? How have the Army or the DSS or even the SSS helped with any information, any communications, any intelligence in addressing the crisis, and if there are any gaps in that communication?
Well, yes, I told you that everything in terms of support, in terms of logistics, in terms of motivation on the side of the Benue state government, the reverend gentleman here is not resting at all, and he has been doing that, and he's in the public glare. The security haze, I always call to government house, he always call a meeting of security haze to brief him of these developments, and he hardly sleeps. You ask them, they will tell you that he calls them any time that there is an alert of an impending danger. What we don't understand is that, this collaboration has been there, and he has been doing his own side of the bargain, but why the attackers always come and disappear, and then we're yet to means they don't come like spirits. But up to this point, we're yet to see that 1, 2 of them have been gone down or arrested for questioning, and I think on the side of government, we have been doing, the government is doing very well, but the collaboration, I can tell you, is yet to yield a very good result for the people to know that actually we are receiving help from the federal government.
Now, despite efforts by the state government, the invaders are still coming in unhindered. And like you said, this is very worrisome. And I guess this is the reason why a senior advocate of Nigeria, Sebastian Horn, has called for emergency rule in Benue State over worsening insecurity. How does this idea sound to you?
Yeah, the senior advocate Sebastian Hong is an indigenous of this state. Even if he were not an indigenous of the state, he is a Nigerian and he is entitled to his opinion. You see, but at the same time, there are parameters of judging a situation, every situation. Sebastian Hong has the right, just like I said, as a Nigerian, to comment on what is happening in Kano, in Kaduna, in Rivers, and any other part of the country. And we are here, but especially that something bad, negative, untoward is happening in other states does not give you an excuse to say that it should happen in your own state too. But then, yes, we are crying and we're lamenting that we need help. But I think it is premature to say that you need an emergency rule in the state because comparatively, what is happening in Benue is not, if you compare to what was happening in the past, especially when Sebastian Hong himself was serving in a particular administration, the immediate past administration. We had a situation where the governor of the state at that time, who was Sebastian's boss, would go to TV station and cry that he has over 4 million people in IDP camp. And that is to tell you that at that time the situation was worse. And at that time, I must tell you that we were occupied by over 17 local governments, or about 17 local governments. After the 23, we are almost overrun by this crisis. Sebastian was still serving in this government, but he didn't see any reason to call for any emergency in the state. He did not. And so today, coming over to say that, if you look at the letter he wrote, in the tone of the letter indicate a political biasness or political undertone. When you bring out an idea and you back it up by describing situations in other places that are even worse hit, and then you come back and suggest something like which is typical of what most people who are in opposition are clamoring for. And I think it's ungodly. And I tell you, that call was not made in good faith. Because we were here when Sebastian Hong was here, and anytime an issue of insecurity came, they would say that nobody should blame the governor of the state at that time. They should blame the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces, General Buhari at that time. But at that time, we don't know what happened, that now he has found a voice to blame the state governor for not doing anything. At that time, between that time and now, he praised the president for handling his security situation in other states, but then coming to Benue, he said the governor of Benue State is not doing much. I would have made more sense if he had praised the governors of those states he was making reference to for doing very well and trying to curtail insecurity in their own areas, and then coming back to say the governor of Benue State is not doing well. You praise the president for trying to stop insecurity in other states, and then you come to your state, then you abandon the president and you say that the governor is not doing much. And so that is matching logic on his head. And so I must tell you that Sebastian's call, in as much as it may sound fancy, it must sound reasonable to some people, it is rather fancy, and I must tell you, it's pregnant with mischief. I must tell you that.
Well, we'd like to thank you so much for joining us for this discussion, Tersoo Kula, the spokesman for the Benue State government.